Have you ever wondered how to create lifelike glass eyes to bring your head sculpts to the next level? Today I'm going to take you on an exciting journey as I show you step by step how I transformed this free Tony Stark bust from Thingiverse into a stunning piece for my Iron Man statue. Let's dive in. First, I want to mention that although this free model may lack some finer details, it still captures Tony Stark's likeness remarkably well, so no complaints there. To make it more interesting, I decided to create two versions of Tony Stark. One resembles the young Tony from the first Iron Man movie, and the other representing his appearance in Endgame. After applying a grey primer, I used Vallejo Carmine Red as the base color. Then I added glaze medium with model color dark flesh tone, letting the Carmine Red shine through in certain areas to give the skin more depth. Since I wasn't sure if my plan with the glass eyes would work, I printed two head sculpts, one with eyes and one without. For the second head I used a black primer, resulting in a slight difference in color tone after applying spritzes with the colors you can see here. After toning down the sprinkling effect with basic skin and glaze medium, I proceeded with washes of red, blue and yellow, gradually refining the details. To add a touch of realism, I used another red wash and spritzed some alcohol on the wet paint, mimicking small blood vessels. However, I felt it was too reddish now, so I applied one more blue wash and then turned to red pastels. At this point the sculpt looked a bit harsh, but I used a bigger makeup brush to smoothen it out, ensuring a more natural look. I used yellow pastel for the forehead and blue for the 5 o'clock shadow. For a detailed guide on creating a 5 o'clock shadow, check out my previous video linked in the info box. Moving on to the eye area, I applied ghost grey as the base color for the eyeballs, followed by burnt umber and charred brown for the hair. For the lips I only used red pastel. Then I selected a brown pair of my eye decals, placed them correctly, used a drop of microsol decal solution, and after that was dry I used a tiny bit of black oil color to make the eyeballs a notch darker. To paint the eyelid I mixed model color transparent red, dark flash and burnt umber. Then I used a brown tone from the makeup palette on a Q-tip and tinted the eyebrows and beard with it. Then I mixed charred brown with black to detail the hair and beard by painting single strands of hair. For the older Tony I used lighter colors, for example Beastie Brown. He also needed some grey hair, for that I used Stonewall Grey. When I was done with the hair, I went back to the eyes and tried some clear UV resin from Green Stuff because I thought that might give them a bit more depth than regular gloss varnish. Turns out it gave them too much depth and he looked like he's about to start crying. But I was able to fix the problem with Max Matte on top of the resin and then using the gloss varnish anyway. Now let's talk about the exciting part, creating the glass eyes. Originally I planned to 3D print mini eyeballs with carved in irises, but I wanted to have the eyeballs all white. So I made a mold and recast them using white colored 2-component epoxy. However, painting these eyeballs turned out to be more challenging than I anticipated. That's when I came up with a better solution: eye decals. I flattened the surface of the eyes, glued them onto a small piece of wood and sanded them to fit the RDJ head. Then I applied the eye decals, but had to paint them white to eliminate the color difference from the putty. To add realism, I used a bit of red to create fake veins. Once the eyeballs were varnished with gloss varnish, I added a drop of clear resin on top, giving them a subtle depth. Now the tricky part was aligning and placing the glass eyes correctly in the head sculpt. I'll admit, it almost gave me a mental breakdown. Lessons learned: next time I'll create access on the back of the head instead of through the neck. After a lot of trial and error, I managed to secure the eyes in place using hot glue and tape. Although the eyes are slightly recessed, I'm quite satisfied with the overall result for my first attempt. Rest assured, I'll refine my methods in future projects. And there you have it, this side project is now complete. If you're curious to see the finished statue where these heads will be used, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for updates. Now let's take a look at the final shots. Feel free to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below, and until next time.